Grand rising, peace, love, harmony, and light. This is Chief Kalanago with another video. Once again, you know the knowledge gotta keep coming. And there is nothing that anyone or anything could do to stop that knowledge. Yes, Chief Kalanago is back. I just took a little break, but I'm back. And I'm in great moods, I'm in great spirits. I'm feeling better than ever. Man, I feel good. It's a beautiful day to be alive. A beautiful day, a beautiful time. And I want y'all to realize that. And I'm going to stress it, and I'm going to explain to you exactly what I mean. One thing you have to realize is this. It's great to have knowledge. Knowledge is a beautiful thing. They say that knowledge is power. Well, I like to take it a little further and say that applying the knowledge is the true power. It's one thing to know something, and it's another thing to apply it. And like I told y'all before, I may have a concept of what it means to or how to swim in my mind. Yes, I'm a great swimmer in my mind. I'm a great basketball player in my mind. I know how to ride a bike in my mind. But when it comes to really stepping on that bike, how am I going to do? How am I going to perform? That's when the true knowledge kicks in, the practice of the knowledge, the application of the knowledge. And that's why my goal, or my intentions is to teach y'all that not just have the knowledge, but apply it. See how it works. See if what you know, when you apply it, if it really works, if it's applicable to your life and it makes you a better man or a woman. That's the true knowledge. So with that being said, today, I'm going to talk to you about a few things. Why is it such a beautiful time to be alive? We already know by now that the educational system is messed up. We know that. So there's no need to spend too much time on that. However, we're going to talk about the emancipation of the mind. A lot of people got caught up with the concept of slavery. Now, slavery existed in two forms: physical slavery, and the most dominant was mental slavery. However, people were taught that the most dominant form of slavery was physical slavery. But I'm here to tell you today that that's not true. That is not true. You see, everything is done and everything was taught in reverse. The true form of slavery was mental slavery, not physical slavery. Because in 1619, when slavery supposedly started in Jamestown, Virginia, when it was documented, and I'm speaking of facts, I am not speaking of belief or opinion. It's a fact. It's documented that the first set of slaves came into the mainland. And when I say the mainland, I mean the United States in 1619. However, there is a true record that it was only about 20 slaves at that time came into Jamestown, Virginia. And they were put in the mix of people who were already here. But the people who were already here, they were people of the Negroid features. In other words, they were the so-called black people, the so-called African Americans. They were already here. And I'm going to prove to you today that our people were not slaves. Now, they became enslaved, but they were not slaves. It's two different things. They had the deed or the deeds to the land, the allodial titles to the land, the aboriginal title. They held those things. If you go to the book, when I say the book, I mean the Bible. Now, I'm using the Bible as a teaching tool, not because I subscribe to everything in it, no. But when you truly understand the symbology in that book, you will have a clear idea of what I'm speaking of. Now, it was said in Deuteronomy that the chosen people of the Most High, they would go into slavery for 400 years. A lot of people think that bondage is a physical form of slavery. No, it wasn't. It was a mental form of slavery. That's why Bob Marley sang that song, "Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Only you could free your mind." It was the enslavement of the mind. The people who were enslaved physically were the people they brought from the African continent to mix with the original people who were already here. The truth of the matter is, even our ancestors, they owned slaves. And like I told y'all before, it wasn't Abraham Lincoln who emancipated slavery or emancipated the slaves. No, it was the Cherokee Nation. My ancestors were the ones who emancipated the slaves, and Abraham Lincoln took the credit for that. However, the mental slavery is what we're going to talk about today. 400 years of slavery, it didn't mean 400 years of physical slavery, and they keep showing you all these slave movies because they want you to think that you were physical slaves. You see, physical slaves, they don't own land. But yet still today, the majority of our people still own land, especially in the South. So how could slaves own land to this day? No, it was those slaves that were enslaved mentally. That's the true form of slavery. And you were to go into slavery for 400 years. Now I want you to do the math. 1619 plus 400. That's 2019. That's right. 2019. 2019. So it is written that after 400 years, what was taken from you will be given back to you. You will be free from bondage, and that bondage is a mental bondage. It's a mental form of slavery. That's why the people are waking up in masses across the world, across the country. The paradigm shift is taking place because we, the original people of this land, we are waking up. Well, some of us are a little more woke than others because there's different levels to the awakening. It was prophesied, it was written that we will wake up after 400 years. We will emancipate our minds. So that's why you see an influx of original people doing videos, waking up, talking. Yes, we are the original people. That's because we are. But that shift happens mentally because that's how you were enslaved, mentally, not physically. Them telling you that you were enslaved physically is a lie. It is a lie. There is no proof of that. No proof of a slave ship coming from Africa. However, the proof is all around you that you were enslaved mentally. Even to this day, the majority of you are enslaved mentally. But because of the prophecy, because it was written, you looked at it in black and white, and you convinced yourself that you were the slaves, not realizing that you convinced yourself mentally that you were enslaved, and you went into it for 400 years. But yes, 1619 plus 400 years of slavery is 2019, where that mass shift will take place. And the proof again is that go talk to your family. Talk to them, and they will tell you, the further back you go, you will realize that our people still own their land. They still own it. Yes, they're paying taxes on it, which they're not supposed to, but they still own the land. You see, banks cannot own land because property cannot own property. Lawfully, that is. Banks cannot own land. They make you think they own your land. They make you think they own your house. They can't own it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give you a jewel, a nugget. Well, I've been giving you a few, but check this out. No foreigner could own any land in America except an American. The only way they could own land is to create a bond with an American. In other words, only an American could own land in America. So what they have to do? They would have to buy that land through an American or marry an American to get your land. Now, I'm not saying that people don't fall in love. I'm not saying that. However, anytime any foreigner marries an American, a true American, it is because they want to use you for what they could get, especially if your family own land. Otherwise, it was taken from you unlawfully. Because only an American could own land in America. And remember, there is a difference between a United States citizen and an American. I hear everybody talk, oh, well, we Americans. No. You are not an American. All these immigrants that call themselves Americans, they are not Americans. The true definition of an American, as per Noah's Webster's 1828 dictionary, an American are the copper-colored races, the people found in America by the Europeans, and now the term is being applied to the descendants of the Europeans. In other words, they took your place and they're calling themselves Americans. That is the only way they could truly own your land or take it forcefully. And if they take it forcefully, that means you have a claim against them. And there is no statutory time period on any unlawful crime or unlawful act. You could put in your claim anytime because your land was taken away from you. But the truth of the matter is, the majority of our people, especially in the South, they own their land. And then you have all these banks, all these investors coming with the fear tactic. Oh, you got to pay taxes. If you can't pay your taxes, we're going to come take your land. Well, let me tell you something. They cannot take your land if you don't allow them to. You're not supposed to be paying taxes on your land because you are the original people. It's supposed to be the other way around. We're supposed to be taxing them. But again, you see the lack of knowledge. That's where the enslavement comes in. The lack of education. The enslavement is the mind. So I'm going to tell you again, like Bob Marley said, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Only you could free yourself from mental slavery, my brothers and sisters. Only you. Do not sell your land to these people. Don't sell your land. That is the true value. That's the true riches. It's the land. Because every single body, physical body, goes back into the soil, the earth, the land. That is the true riches. Not the paper, not the fiat currency, not that physical money. Because you hear somebody say, well, I have land, let me give you $2 million for your land, and you think, oh, I'm rich all of a sudden. No, it's just a piece of paper. Where do you think the paper came from? The paper came from the trees. Where did the trees come from? The trees sprung from the land. So therefore, you already have the riches. It's in the land. It's in you. The man and woman that sprung from that soil. But because of the lack of education, the enslavement of the mind, you got caught up in religion. The songs that they taught you. I would rather have Jesus than silver and gold. That was the indoctrination of the original people. Yes, they took your land, took your gold and your silver and gave you Jesus. You were bamboozled, hoodwinked, brainwashed. My brothers and sisters, wake up and start walking. It is one thing to be awake. I could be in my bed and still be awake and not move a muscle. But you have to get out of bed. Walk. Do some jumping jacks. There are different levels to the awakening. Slaves don't own the majority of the land, and our people still own the majority of the land. And that's why the US government got your land. Our land is in trust because they cannot own it. They are holding it for you, but you're here thinking that you're an immigrant in your own damn land. And you have these imposters going around saying that they are the original people and they are the ones reaping the benefit of your land, our land. It is time. The 400 years is at hand. And there's different levels to achieving that. You may hear many videos of every people, they think they know. They think they know. They don't know a damn thing. So first, it starts off mentally. You have to be willing to stand up and defend what's yours. It's your property. They cannot own it. They cannot have the deed to it. They could have a title. A title is not a deed. And if they have a deed to your land, it's because you gave it to them. They took it from you. They tricked you into it. Institutions cannot own property. They could possess it. You see, everything is in the language. They romance you with their languages. You could possess something and not own it. All it means is that you have it in your possession. And that's what they do. It's in their possession, but they cannot own it. They would have to go to a court of law or before the court to prove that they own it. And it's impossible for them to do it. It's impossible for a bank to go before a court and prove that they own land, because they cannot own land. The government cannot own land. However, it could be in their possession because you don't know any better. But Chief Kalinago is here to break it down to you. The haters thought they could stop me, huh? And guess what? Who laughed last laughed the best. And guess what? I'm laughing now. Because you are fools. Thinking that you could stop me. So brothers and sisters, it's time to open up your mind. Free yourself from that mental form of slavery. Free yourself. Because the time is nigh. 400 years of mental slavery. And there's going to be an influx of us that's going to free ourselves mentally. A lot of us already have. I have. Some people are still waking up into the knowledge. Well, I know something is not right. I know something is wrong. What exactly it is, I don't know. But I'm on the path to freeing myself mentally. Well, if you have came across my channel, then you have arrived. Because I'm going to drop it like it's hot. So know that no one could own your land but you. But you. That is your natural birthright. And your birthright was stolen from you. It was taken from you. Or it's being held in a trust for you. But the people that was entrusted with the land, they have breached that trust. They are in dishonor. And who's going to hold them accountable? I know I am. But doing this alone, I'm not saying it's impossible. One man could change the world. One woman can change the world. But just imagine if it's many of us. And the truth of the matter is, it's not going to take a lot of us. Just the remnant, the 144,000, to change this whole thing around. So once again, I am looking for the righteous ones, not those who speak it, not those who just speak it, but those who also speak it in their heart. Because you see, there are men and women who speak the words with their mouth because they think that's what you want to hear. But in their hearts, they are poison. Their hearts are darkened. However, they will tell you exactly what you want to hear because they have other interior motives. They are looking for that instant gratification. But you see, the gratification that I'm looking for, it's longevity. It's generational. What can we pass on to the next generation so they could pass on to the next generation so they could pass on to the next generation? Not just what we could get right now, today, tomorrow, no. I'm talking about generations to come. And I'm talking about the securing of our land, getting back our birthright. That's the mission that I am on. So I am looking for the righteous few, the remnant of the masses that fell asleep. That's what I'm looking for. But first, you have to free yourself mentally. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. The like minds, the right frequency, the like frequencies. We have to come together and put this plan in motion. But first you have to correct yourself. You have to decolonize yourself. Only you could save yourself. No one but you. If you go on an airplane, when they read the rules, okay, the security instructions, the manual for survival, what they tell you, if there is an emergency and the plane is about to crash or whatever, and that oxygen mask falls, whether or not you have a baby, the first person you have to put that mask on is yourself. Because while you are trying to save somebody else, you could die. And if you die, that means you can't save anybody else. So you have to learn to save yourself first. That's not being selfish. No. It's called self-preservation is always first. Because the only way to save anyone is to save yourself. So you have to decolonize yourself first. Free your mind. First, mentally. And then you do it physically. So you have to decolonize yourself first. Regain your status of an original American. Take the necessary steps to make it happen. Free your children. Free your family then. There are pathways to doing this. It is time. It is time. And I'm going to tell you something. If you miss this time around, because like I said, 400 years, you do the math. 1619 plus 400 is 2019, which is next year. If you miss this mark, you will go into another state of enslavement, even deeper than the one you were in. So don't miss it. The time is here. The 400 years is up. That's why the trumpet has sounded. The trumpet, Donald Trump, has sounded. And you will be forced out of your homes. The colonizers will raise the rent. Forced gentrification so that you will not be able to afford your rent. Push you out of your homes. You see, everything is happening to you. Losing your jobs. Can't feed your family. All those things are going to happen to you to see if you could stand the test of time. Because the Creator, the Most High, the Great Spirit is telling you, you have to go back to the land. Leave their crowded cities alone. Give it to them. Because I'm going to destroy them. I'm going to tear those buildings down. Because that's not natural. That's not part of nature. Go back to what I gave you. I gave you the land. I gave you the trees. I gave you the air. I gave you the water. Go back to that. Go back to what's natural. Go back to nature. That's what I gave you. Everything else is artificial. But you're fighting so hard to assimilate. You're fighting so hard to be part of the crowd. You want to keep up with the Joneses. You want to pay $1,800 rent, $2,000 rent. Because you want to do what they do. You want to live like they live. But the Creator, the Most High, is not asleep. The Most High is going to show you, if you go against me, you will fall. You will fall. And the Most High is going to continue to have them put that pressure on you. When will you learn, my people? It is time to go back to the land. Stop selling your land to these people, these colonizers, these immigrants. Go back to the land. In every corner of our neighborhoods, there is a foreigner, an immigrant selling us something. But you're talking about you awake. No, you're not awake. You think you are awake. You're still in a coma. Your eyes are open. Your mouth is moving, but you cannot recognize because you are still in a coma. Leave it alone. Leave their cities alone. Give it to them. Give them the tall buildings, the $1,800 rents. Give it to them. Let them keep that. Go back to the land. Go back to the land. It is time Time to start growing our own food. Time to start putting your feet back in the soil, the dirt, the land. It is time to go back to honor our ancestors. It is time to go back and start giving thanks and praise to the Most High. A lot of our people have lost their ways. And I'm going to tell you something. If you keep fighting against the Creator, fighting against the Most High, fighting against the universe, fighting against your ancestors, you will lose. Believe me, you will lose. But first, you have to get your affairs in order. Get your affairs in order. It's the only way you're going to get back your birthright. Is to claim who you are. A dog cannot claim a bone. A dog cannot claim its bone if it go around talking about it's a cat. I'm going to repeat myself. A dog cannot claim its bone if it go around all day meow, meow, meow. No. Because you are not in your proper status. You are not. So therefore, you have to get yourself right. Get yourself right. And then step up and reclaim your birthright. The world is waiting. The world is watching. So for all the righteous people who are ready to move forward. Yes, and I'm talking about people who not just speak about it, but people who truly believe in their hearts, their minds, their souls, that they are the original people of the land. And they are truly about uplifting our people, restoring our birthright. Those are the people that I want to work with. So it is time to get your affairs in order. Like I said, a dog cannot claim a bone being a cat. You have to step into your proper status. And you don't need to fill out 10,000 forms to do that. You don't have to fill out these UCC forms to do that. That is a hustle. You don't have to do all that. That's the truth. You don't have to fill out all this USP 941-181-46 forms. No, you don't have to do all that. That is a hustle. However, there are steps to take. So once again, this is Chief Kalanago with another video. Another feel-good video. It's a beautiful day to be alive. It's a beautiful time to be alive. My email is in the link below. Set up a consultation because I value my time. I am giving you this video as a gift. All my videos as gifts. However, set up a consultation and get your affairs in order. I will show you the steps that I have taken. I will teach you the steps that I have taken. The time is now. Also, the nation's website is in the link below. Check out the website. We got a lot of jewels on there. Once again, the GoFundMe is in the link below. The support is always appreciated. But for those of you who want to get to the point where you want to secure yourself, okay? Protect yourself. Secure your family. Protect your family, our children, our elders. Reach out. Send an email. Like I said, set up a consultation. My time is valuable, just like your time is. So, give a donation for the time. Of course, it's appreciated. But I will take my time and I will speak to you. Explain things to you. If you have questions to ask, As long as I could answer your questions, I will answer them to the best of my ability. But I am here to assist my fellow man and woman. It is time, family. It is time. This is our home. This is our land. Yes, we are the original people of the entire planet. But the Creator placed us here in the Americas. So therefore, we have the deed to that land. We have the allodial title to that land. And it's the only way to regain your birthright. It is to step back into your rightful place as the original man and woman. Anything else means that you are leasing, you are renting. We are the true landlords. Let us step up as who we are. It is time to stop renting. It is time to stop leasing. Let us own, because it belongs to us. So once again, I do hope you have a beautiful day. My email is below. Set up a consultation and let's get this thing started. Get your affairs in order. Get your status corrected. Decolonization starts now. It's a beautiful day to be alive, brothers and sisters. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. The 400 years is up. And they have to give us back what's ours. They said it in their own book. Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. It is time to give us back what belongs to us. All right? Like I said, I am back. I'm feeling great. Chief Kalinago, peace, love, and light. Get your affairs in order. Get your status corrected. Send me an email. Peace.